Hello. While we're dealing with entertainment, it's interesting to note that Rolf Harris has died. Rolf Harris was, in the 1960s, the epitome of family-friendly entertainment. I remember his songs, I remember his shows, the Rolf Harris Show, or It's Rolf or something. I remember him dancing around with Pan's People, I think, and singing I'm a Train, and then painting these phenomenal large paintings in front of the audience, and I thought this was extraordinarily inspiring. Later on, he did a show about animation, which wasn't terribly good, but he was always coming back and singing about my didgeridoo and so on. And then came the scandal in 2014, I think, his imprisonment for a string of indecent assaults that went on between 1968 and when he was caught in 2014. His friendship, of course, with the foul individual, Jimmy Savile, didn't help his case, I'm sure. And I remember particularly reading about the beginning of the case, how he stood in the dock and performed. And the judge pointed out, this isn't a performance, Mr. Harris. But it was impossible for him not to do that. He was stripped of his honours, the OB, the MB, the CBE, the BAFTA fellowship, and so on. And he used his fame. He used his fame to prey on vulnerable girls and to satisfy himself, in much the same way as Jimmy Savile used his fame. Fame is an extraordinarily fleeting commodity, and it should be handled with respect. It's something we are gifted by the public, and when you're tapped on the shoulder, when you're stopped in the street and asked, can I have a selfie, this is an honor, and we shouldn't dismiss it lightly. It's an honor, it's a privilege, it's a duty. And I think it's something that so many people in the entertainment business should reflect on. They're not there because they want to be famous, I hope. They're there because they are doing something. They are entertaining, they are performing, they are painting, they are talking, they are informing. Fame is the byproduct. And when you look back on it, you have to ask, I was talking the other day about Eric Gill. Eric Gill is slightly different. What we've got on with the statue on the BBC building is a piece of art. What we've got when we look at Rolf Harris is Rolf Harris. He wasn't a great singer, he wasn't a great dancer, he wasn't a great artist. His portrait of the Queen was saccharine and second rate. But he was an extraordinarily gifted and charismatic presenter, and he threw all that away. The same could be said for Gary Glitter, who wasn't a great singer. He wasn't a great dancer. He wasn't a great musician. He was an extraordinarily accomplished performer, and he defined a movement, and he threw all that away. I think probably we could say the same of other people who have recently been in the public eye. And you have to ask, if you're a journalist or an editor of a newspaper and you end up on television, what are you? You're a performer who happens to have courted and to have attracted the public mood and the public moment, and that is an honor. And it's fleeting, and it should be treated with respect. and I think so often it goes to people's heads. I think as Rolf Harris is laid to rest, his story should be a reminder about the old Greek tropes of hubris and the modern idea about the importance of entertainment in our world, and how valuable is that role in a television age, and how easily it can be distorted, discredited, and ruined, and how the ruination is a little bit like a disease. It eats into every part of our life. I feel we shouldn't abandon the things that Rolf did simply because of his perversion. But it's very difficult. It would be impossible, I think, to play two little boys. And it would be really difficult to sing or perform Jake the Pake, or to have these videos, which are available on YouTube, playing. It's really difficult, but believe me, those performances were riveting and defined so much of my childhood. I feel he has ruined something, not only in my childhood, but also in so many other people's, because it went to his head, because he couldn't restrain himself, because he was stupid, and because he didn't realize what an incredibly powerful and sacred gift he had been given in fame.